A murder case in Edna after a teen was found dead. More authorities now joining the investigation. In a pre-trial hearing for murder defendant Fernando Acosta Jr. now reset. We have the latest information up next. And in a stunning new development, a Texas judge granted an emergency abortion for a woman suing the state.
And the clouds are getting thicker over the area. This is getting ready for that frontal system. When does it get here? We'll have that answer coming up in a moment.
The latest migrant surge straining resources on the southern border. Advocates warning about misleading billboards bringing harm to incoming migrants. You're watching 25 News Now at 5. Good afternoon and thanks for being with us. I'm Karina Garcia. DPS and the Texas Rangers are investigating a possible capital murder in Jackson County. This after a 16-year-old Edna High School cheerleader was found dead in her home Wednesday.
In this small town,
the most horrible way a mother could find her child. She was murdered in cold blood.
Jacqueline Medina is grieving the loss of her only child, Lizbeth, who was only 16 years old.
It should have been a great day because she was involved in the Christmas parade. She was going to be with the cheer squad.
But Tuesday, she never made it to that parade. Her mother tells me she came home to their apartment only to find her daughter dead.
I lost it. She was my world, my everything. Everything I do was for her.
According to Edna police, officers along with DPS and the Texas Rangers are investigating what they believe to be a capital murder case. Police sharing limited details on what happened.
Someone dared to go in and just rip my daughter away from me. It just kills me.
Jacqueline says she feels broken.
I just want answers to why they would do this to an amazing little girl who never hurt anyone. Who wouldn't dare to hurt anyone.
Now, praying for justice for her little girl.
Now, Edna Police Chief Rick Boone tells the Jackson County Herald Tribune police have not arrested a suspect, but the department has interviewed some people in connection with the case. If you have any information, call the Edna Police Department. Family members do plan to hold a vigil Saturday night at the Edna Cowboy Stadium in Edna at 6 p.m. A pre-trial hearing for murder defendant Fernando Acosta Jr. was reset for January 16th at 9 a.m. in Bay City. A new trial date of February 26th at 9 a.m. was also set for Acosta. He is indicted in the death of Amanda Johnson, who was found dead in a burned-out 2018 Ford Explorer around 2:30 a.m. April 18th of 2021 in Matagorda County. The SVU was found near County Road 454. Johnson was just 38 years old at the time and a single mother of two. The Coast Guard has suspended the search for Felipe Lozano of Port Lavaca. Authorities reported Lozano went missing this weekend on a shrimp boat in the Gulf of Mexico near New Orleans while working on a commercial fishing boat. The captain reported the incident around 2 a.m. Saturday. It happened near Port Fortune, where the Coast Guard had searched the area. Now, family members do plan to hold a vigil tonight for Lozano at 6 at the Port Lavaca Bayfront. With the mayoral special election set for February 3rd, we are introducing you to some of the candidates. 25 News Now anchor Don Brubaker sits with candidate Carissa Winters.
All right, Karina, thank you. Ms. Winter, thanks for coming in tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Why do you want to be mayor of Victoria?
Because I care about the people of Victoria and the community, and I would love to serve them, and I really care about their well-being. So that's basically it in a nutshell.
Mm-hmm. How long have you been interested in doing something like in public service or being elected to a spot like that?
You know, I've always been interested in doing public service most of my life, but as far as being in politics, that wasn't something that I ever really aimed to do. I decided to run for mayor because I had so many people reach out and say, would you consider doing this? So I'm not, you know, a bred politician or anything like that. I'm just heavily involved in the community, and I talk to the community members and the small business owners, and I ask them how they're doing, what things are happening, and I've invested a lot to create programming and other things that have helped community members be successful. So someone said, this will give you more tools to be able to help community members better, and that got right to my heart, and I said, you know what? Why not? Why not a community member that cares, that invests in the community, and has worked on all ends with different entities in the city?
Mm-hmm. Well, go further into that. Like, what in your experience and your work history makes you feel like you are qualified to be mayor of Victoria?
There's a lot in my work history, so I don't know if a lot of people know, one of my jobs that I had for a while was actually working for an accounting firm, and I would go in big companies and deal with different businesses, and I would deal with large budgets and how to save money. So I'm really fiscally conservative, and so I believe on the financial end, that's what I bring to the table. But also, I've started a lot of programming that has helped the community of Victoria. I run the Innovation Collective here as well. I also bring a lot of things that help community members, and I'm accessible to the community. I know what's going on with community members because I talk to them. I walk into their businesses. When I see community members, I ask them, how are you doing? What's going on? And so I think it's a lot of that experience that I bring to the plate, but I also have owned quite a few companies, and I still do. And I actually own a toy store here myself in the Mitchell School, and it's a pathway for special needs individuals here. So I've owned not only my own companies and been doing that and starting programming for many years and brought things here, like I just got telescopes in all the middle schools and, STEM programming, access to all of that. I'm one of the owners of the film festival. I do art shows to bring artists and accessibility, but I'm more than just creative and arts and film. I actually have the business side to me to back that up as well. So I feel I have a lot of aspects that really make me a great candidate because I not only care about the community members and I'm accessible to them, but I also have the knowledge to help them thrive. And at the end of the day, that's what I want to see. I want to see, community before competition, and I want to see us thriving. And if decisions are being made for community members, we need to ask them, how is this impacting you? We don't need to just assume. So that's what I think I bring to the table is I'm multifaceted in many ways, and I have a lot of experience that's very unique that I bring to the table.
So you can communicate well with them because they know you.
Yes, exactly.
All right, very good. Thank you so much for coming by, and we appreciate you coming by and your time and taking the questions.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it so much.
That was Carissa Winters, a mayoral candidate in Victoria. Karina, back to you.
Don, thank you. In Refugio County, recent vandalism at the St. Bernard Cemetery outside of Woodsboro is still under investigation. Refugio County Sheriff Raul Pinky Gonzalez told the Refugio County Press the Woodsboro Police Department first received a report of the vandalized headstones earlier this month. Photos of the deceased were scrapped off all 3 headstones. Authorities say the vandalism could have occurred as long as a month ago. The only vandalism was the missing photos. And now let's shift gears and take a look at the weather with Chief Meteorologist Mac Perez.
Well, thank you very much, Karina. A lot of cloud cover rolling in. You're thinking, okay, when is the cold air coming in? Well, that's not till Saturday. So the cloud cover will still keep us on the warm side of things for Friday. And we'll talk more about your weekend forecast coming up in a moment.
Mac, thank you. A judge has granted a pregnant woman whose fetus has a fatal diagnosis permission for an abortion. The lawsuit by Kate Cox, a 31-year-old mother of 2 from Dallas, is believed to be the first time since the U.S. Supreme Court's decision last year to overturn Roe v. Wade. The state district judge said she will grant a temporary restraining order to allow Cox to have an abortion under the narrow exceptions to the Texas abortion ban. But that decision will likely be appealed by the Texas state, arguing that she does not meet the criteria for a medical exception. Her attorney said that the cases like Cox make these laws dangerous to mothers in Texas.
The problem is that the medical exceptions to all of the abortion bans across the country are written in language that physicians simply do not understand. And with life in prison and their medical licenses on the line, they can't take the risk. And so Ms. Cox has come to court with her husband and her doctor and said, we need protection so that my doctor can provide me with pretty routine medical care that would have been provided but 2 years ago in Texas.
In a brief hearing today, her attorneys told the judge that Cox, who is 20 weeks pregnant, went to the emergency room this week for a 4th time since her pregnancy. Right now, it's unclear when she will receive that abortion. So here is your viewer poll this afternoon. You can scan that QR code on your screen to vote. The question is, do you think we will see more special exemptions or exceptions rather in the abortion law? Yes or no? We want to hear your opinion on this. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part. And of course, we're going to have an update on 25 News Now at 6. The U.S. southern border is seeing another surge of migrants once again. In the last 24 hours, more than 3,000 people attempted to enter the U.S. through Eagle Pass. Border agents now forced to temporarily shut down 2 international crossings with Mexico last week in the Del Rio area. Apprehensions rose to 2,500 per day. Authorities have also reported seeing multiple drownings take place in the Rio Grande area in Arizona. The number of migrant apprehensions have doubled, and border authorities saw more than 10,000 migrants along the U.S. southern border. And in El Paso, immigrant advocates are calling out the sanctuary city billboards promoting New York City and San Francisco as misleading. The 2 billboards are linked to a website called sanctuarycities.com. The website promotes sanctuary cities that offer social services and health care. However, one advocate says the billboards can lead migrants to dangerous situations if these cities are not equipped to provide housing or access to medications and health care through this organization.
These billboards, we're seeing it as a form of misinformation. It's really disingenuous in nature because on one hand it's really encouraging migrants to come to San Francisco, but it's not actually having any resources to connect folks to that, right?
Cities like New York, San Francisco, and Chicago are designated sanctuary cities when they limit their government employees from aiding federal agencies like ICE when they request information about the individual. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click that notification bell. For now, the latest in the deadly shooting at the University of Nevada in Las Vegas. Straight ahead on 25 News Now at 5, the name of the suspect and a possible motive in the killings. Also ahead, the man accused of trying to crash an Alaska Airlines plane enters a not guilty plea. The conditions of his release straight ahead. The Alaska Airlines pilot accused of trying to crash a plane mid-flight has been ordered to be released from custody today. The incident happened on October 22nd. Joseph Emerson said he thought he was dreaming while flying back to California. He pleaded not guilty to endangering an aircraft and 83 counts of recklessly endangering another person. One condition for his release is that he stay away from any operable plane. He also has to pay $50,000 in bail. More details have come forward about the suspect accused in the deadly University of Nevada, Las Vegas shooting. And last night, community members held a prayer vigil, remembering the 3 lives lost in yet another mass shooting.
Please take me to the King.
Some of the students who survived Wednesday's shooting at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas gathered together to mourn the victims and seek some solace at an off-campus prayer vigil. Chris Solomon was in the student union for an event when the shots rang out.
It was fun, and that all turned into, fear and cries from students inside the meeting room.
Everyone at his event made it to safety, but 4 other people on campus were shot. 3 fatally. A 4th is in the hospital in critical condition. All of the victims were faculty or staff.
No student should have to fear pursuing their dreams on the college campus.
The suspect has been identified as 67-year-old Anthony Polito. Police say he had previously been a business professor at 2 other universities and had unsuccessfully applied to teach at UNLV. He was allegedly armed with a handgun.
Officers immediately responded, engaged the suspect. The suspect at this point is deceased.
Investigators searched an apartment in nearby Henderson, Nevada, believed to be Polito's home. So far, they have not identified a motive for the shooting. Nevada Congresswoman Dina Titus tells ABC News that she believes many of her constituents are frustrated by the continuing gun violence.
Well, you know, many people think of Nevada as kind of the Wild West, but even in Nevada, public opinion shows that people want universal background checks.
Las Vegas was the site of one of the worst mass killings in U.S. history, the October 1st, 2017 mass shooting in which 60 were killed and more than 400 were wounded. Nearly 30,000 students attend UNLV, and it's about 2 miles from the Las Vegas Strip. The campus will be closed for the rest of the week. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, Las Vegas.
Former President Donald Trump is once again calling the New York civil fraud case against him a witch hunt and a corrupt trial. New York Attorney General Letitia James claimed Trump, his sons, and his companies inflated the value of properties to obtain more favorable loan rates. But an expert witness for the defense argued the complaint had no merit. The judge already ruled Trump and his co-defendants liable for fraud. Now he's considering how much they will have to pay in damages. Attorney General James is seeking $250 million and to bar Donald Trump from doing business in the state of New York. It's the season of giving, but it can be a struggle to find the perfect present for the seniors in our lives.
This holiday season, give the gift that keeps on giving to the seniors in your life.
And so this is a great time of year to think about some of those opportunities that can help keep people living in their homes safely, give them a sense of independence.
Orthopedic surgeon Carmen Quatman with Ohio State University's Wexner Medical Center says for the traveling senior, think about accessories like a vehicle support handle to help them get in and out of a car safely, or a lumbar support pillow to help with pain and stiffness.
There's little pillows you can buy for camping that you can just put a couple of little puffs in, stick behind your back, put it under your legs for long car travel.
Quatman says to help them stay hydrated with a personalized water bottle, or for those who have hand trimmers, weighted utensils and writing instruments can be a perfect present.
But it can really help with some of those day-to-day activities that can be really frustrating.
For the gadget-loving senior, smart devices for the home can be helpful.
Beyond music or making a quick order, they can be great for setting timers for medications. They can be great for helping someone who struggles to dial on their phone if they have arthritis or have different difficulties with technology.
Finally, Quatman says a ride service gift card for Uber or Lyft can empower adults.
Transportation is a key to feeling like you're mobile in your community.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Each year in the United States, National Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day honors all those who lost their lives when Japan attacked Pearl Harbor on December 7th, 1941. You can read this article on our website, crossroadstoday.com.
It is Pearl Harbor Day, December the 7th. Well, good evening, everyone. We're looking at 70 degrees, and yet clouds are getting thicker and thicker. What's happening? Well, we're getting ready for that system that's coming in. That's going to bring us the chill today. No chill, we were at 75. Tomorrow will probably be 78. And then it's Saturday when the big chill comes in. We'll be talking about that coming up in a moment. Well, good evening, everybody. Right now, we're all in the 70s. Yes, it's been fairly mild for the most of this week, courtesy of that ridge of high pressure. We're looking at 70 degrees for us here in Victoria, but it's 76 up in the Gonzales area. Tomorrow, we may be a tad warmer, but I do know We're going to be a tad windier too. This is all in response to getting ready for that system moving through. The cloud deck got thicker this afternoon, but pretty much over the coastal bend. Not so much out in far west Texas. The high pressure that brought us the real nice weather has now moved to the southeast. So we're getting frontal systems organized, and the big one is out there, and those two will combine to give us a shot at some cool weather and a little bit, shall we say, a chance of rain. Now here's Future Tracker. We start off this evening. You can see how all the activity is out there. Nothing in terms of precipitation around Texas. We get into Friday, and you can see how the big snowstorm rolls out of the Rockies, and then all of a sudden the front gets very close to our area. It looks like you'll see it come through here on Saturday afternoon, 4 or 5 o'clock. That's when we'll get just a little chance of rain. I'm calling it less than maybe a tenth of an inch to maybe a quarter at the most. It goes by very quickly because by Sunday, that all blows away, and all of a sudden, we're out of the rain business as the dry, cold air starts rolling in. Now, here's Future Tracker, and we asked, okay, how much rain are we going to get? And you can see right about here that we got less than a half an inch in most areas of Texas. The heavier stuff is going to be obviously up to the east. So a quarter to a half an inch will be okay, but that's on Saturday. Remember that. Other than that, that's the excitement that we're going to get. Overnight lows getting down into the 60s tonight, not nearly as cold. Tomorrow we'll stop off at about 78 degrees, so it'll be on the warm side, and you'll probably be wearing the flip-flops and the t-shirts. Problem is, on Saturday night, things are going to be changing on us. Here's your forecast for Port Lavaca, your day planner. We start off very mild, 67 tonight, getting up to 76 tomorrow. We'll still have pretty much as much cloud cover as we have today. And then in Cuero, we're looking for a 64, fairly mild, getting up to 78 with a little bit more sunshine. But it's that south wind that's going to start increasing at probably 25 miles an hour. So it'll be a little breezier tomorrow. It'll be downright windy on Saturday night when that whole thing blows through the region. So here's what we have. A sprinkle or two possible, that 20% just sort of a cover, but it'll be 78 tomorrow. And then Saturday, we start off warm. We'll get warm to about noontime. Then the wind blows through, and it'll be quite windy. And the rain chance will come with that frontal system late in the day on Saturday. Sunday, clear, windy, and colder. Looking for a a high of 60 degrees, and then down to about 41 overnight. So we could see a couple of upper 30s up in the inner areas or the western areas of the crossroads. So just keep that in mind. It's going to be much chillier. You'll be needing your jacket by the time the weekend is over. So let's get ready for that. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. We'd love for you to scan that. Put Crossroads Today on your phone. Here's Karina.
Thanks, Matt. Coming up next on 25 News Now at 5, we'll take a look at your stocks. Plus, Meta has rolled heavily anticipating messaging updates to boost security and privacy. Taking a look at your stocks, the Dow up 63 points, the S&P 500 up 36 points, and the Nasdaq up 193 points. Oil down 4 cents, closing at $69.34 a barrel. On Wednesday, Meta said users of Facebook and Messenger will automatically get the protections they need. However, these changes could trigger renewed opposition by government leaders who warn that making messages harder to read might facilitate criminal activity. WhatsApp defaulted this program back in 2016. In that same year, Messenger also followed those same steps. Instagram began testing it in 2021. And stay with us. We'll take one last look at your forecast. Plus, Orlando Park is now the home of a rare white alligator. Plus, here's a look at world news tonight, right after 25 News Now at 5.
Coming up tonight, we have breaking news. The images just in of this takedown, the deadly shooting on campus. The suspect, a longtime professor elsewhere. In New York, shots fired outside a synagogue. And this major cross-country storm, the west, then right into the northeast. We'll track it. We're next.
And cute white alligator has been born. Biologists describe her in a term that meant lacking pigmentation. Gatorland in Orlando said today this is the first white gator born in human care. The baby female gator weighs 3.4 ounces, so she's really tiny, and is 19.3 inches long. She's believed to be one of only 8 in the world. These alligators are not to be confused with albino ones, as albino ones have complete loss of pigmentation. And she just has a little pigmentation there. You know what? That is cute, but
how cute is
how cute is
no, it's like puppies. It's cute right now. when it gets to 12 feet, it's not so cute
It looks
anymore.
like a cute little thing. You want to see it,
Oh,
but
yeah.
gators,
Well,
crocodiles, I don't do any of that.
That's going to be
Reptiles in general.
amazing when that grows to 12 feet and it's a white albino, not albino, a white alligator.
Alligator. That's
A little
interesting.
strange, yeah.
Alrighty.
Well, folks, we've got another warm day up ahead. Tomorrow we'll get up to about 78, and then Saturday we start off warm, but by Saturday night the north wind starts blowing. There's a chance for rain on Saturday as the whole thing blows through, and Sunday, oh, you're going to be looking for your jacket because it's only going to be 60 degrees, and a cold north wind will be blowing through the area. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, it's kind of a 3-day cold snap. When I say cold, the nighttime lows will be rather chilly, down to about 40 degrees, maybe a couple of upper 30s. Karina?
Alrighty, thank you, Mac. And thank you for being with us. We hope to see you back here tonight for 25 News Now at 6. World News Tonight with Dave Amir is up next.